the end of episode 2 was A-Train handing over the information that freed the Starlighters?
Yes.
Cool. So, Butcher and Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character were plotting and conniving at the beginning of this episode on how to essentially kidnap Ryan so they could deprogram him from Homelander's extremism. And it was being hinted at that maybe Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character was more interested in turning Ryan into a double agent.
That, or I think more so trying to turn him into someone on their side who would fight Homelander, I think.
Is that not double agent?
Oh, I see double agent as being like, he's planted in there.
Well, yeah, I don't think they'd just send him straight in to have a punch-up.
Oh, see, well, I don't know. I was taking it as like, they'd get him away from there, train him up, so that he can then be the only person that can fight Homelander.
Yeah.
But, yeah, either way, there was clearly a bit of a mix of opinions on what happens to Ryan after they get him away from Homelander.
There was also the brand new Seven being revealed to the world.
Yes, with their 2 new members.
Yeah, Sister Sage and Firecracker.
Yep.
My favourite bit of this season so far is the guy who's taken over from Noir being one of the most naturally chatty motherfuckers ever and just constantly getting told to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's like when Homelander says it in this episode where he's talking to Ashley.
Yes.
It was almost like a muscle memory, like, shut the fuck up, Noir, and just kept on going.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting we got a bit more on him. The fact that we were sort of right with the idea that he had gone to Godolkin, got his acting.
It was a performing superhero, not a crime stopping.
Then he went and did something at some theatre or something.
Yeah.
And then got this role, and he was like, I just need some direction. Like, Noir lives in a dojo, but he didn't seem to know Kung Fu. It's like, that's such a typical thing of like, they probably just were like, oh, Noir doesn't speak. He probably wants like a dojo or something. We'll give him a dojo.
Yeah. It's like Noir's supposed to be like a ninja character, so they're just like, so he's in a dojo, obviously. I love how, even though it's inside Seven headquarters, though, they haven't let him decorate his room, and he's still forced to be silent. Like, Homelander is so delusional, he's like, no, you're Noir, you're not allowed to speak, ever.
Well, yeah, it's like, they want Noir back, but like, this guy has to become Noir. It's not allowed to be like a new version of Noir.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It is good. We also got, like, with Firecracker, we got the bit with Annie and a bit of a history as to the fact that Annie's a little shit.
Yeah. So Annie was... We kind of knew she was a bit brutal when she was on the scene on the Up and Up as a kid. But let's just be completely clear. Just because someone's mean to you as a child doesn't mean you need to spread misinformation on the internet and try and ruin their life.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's been like, I'm not going to forgive you as an adult because you were like a bully to me, or you ruined my life.
You really negatively impacted my life,
To then there's the extreme of going, oh, I'm going to tell the world that the Earth's flat.
Yeah, I'm going to tell the world that you're running a pedophile ring is just a crazy jump.
So yeah, obviously very extreme response to said thing.
Exactly.
Sister Sage obviously calling out Homelander for not liking her calling him out
because you're angry that you're definitely that petty.
I think he's already regretting his decision.
Yeah. The really interesting bit about this episode for me was Sister Sage's move to be CEO and that kind of sub arc.
Yes.
Because it was Ashley who's had the shit kicked out of her, got elevated, was doing an okay job in the grand scheme of Vought.
Yeah.
And there's now been having the shit kicked out of her. She's ripping her own hair out. She's losing her mind. To being told, you're no longer CEO, you're just the face. Fuck off. Is crazy. But it was the bit where they're interviewing the girl from the crime reporters or whatever. Sage is got to be fuming.
Yeah.
Because she's like, okay, she's about to go a bit of information. Homelander blows her head up, which was phenomenal because it's showing that Homelander might think he's trying to be better because, he's brought someone in who's smart to help him. He is still such an angry, petulant child.
Oh, yeah.
But then her just like discreetly shredding her CEO resignation. She was like, know what? I'll keep my head, thanks.
Yeah, it's like suddenly realizing that if I try and actually get out of this or quit or whatever, Homelander's probably not, he's still this scary guy.
She knows how much time they've spent covering bodies and how easily they do it. Do they really think, or does she really think that they won't do the same to her?
Yeah, she has no way out of there alive, unfortunately.
Exactly.
There's moving Sister Sage to CEO, clearly like her choice and suggestion, because she knows, okay, that's going to give me more control over trying to limit Homelander a bit and manage everyone else. Obviously, we know she's playing Homelander just as much as she's weaving this thread against the Starlighters. Like, she's playing two double field here.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing with Deep completely is her manipulating him.
Yeah, well, was there not like a bloody needle on the table? Where
Yeah, I was trying
to. So people think because she's so intelligent, she gives herself lobotomies to relax.
Oh.
Yeah. Because her brain clearly like grows and restructures, and that's how she's so intelligent. So they think that when she needs to unwind, whereas some people do like drugs or drink or whatever, that doesn't do anything for her. So she lobotomizes herself so she can just relax. And that's why she seems zoned out of it.
Do you know what I thinking about as well now? We know they put don't they put trackers in them?
They used to. I don't know if they still do. They probably do.
It could also be that she's intelligent enough to realize she's got a tracker or something and take that out of her.
I think we were supposed to view that scene as she's deeply troubled.
Possibly.
And she's doing her equivalent of getting high, which is cutting off a bit of her brain so that she can
would
relax
make
for 5
sense.
minutes. It's very on brand for the show and the way they tell their story.
I just was like, this also could be her playing Deep.
She's absolutely manipulating the fuck out of Deep. And I'm curious to see where that goes, because Deep is an absolute scumbag.
Oh, yeah.
But he's also, because he's so dumb, you do just find yourself going, Deep. Oh, you silly sod.
Well, he's just... He's always chasing to prove himself, while it's also like being a shit.
Yeah, it's like, maybe just stop fucking fish, and you'll get taken a bit more seriously.
Maybe just stop, like, trying to fuck everything.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Just stop putting your dick in things. But without a doubt, the craziest part is obviously the centerpiece of the entire episode, the confrontation at the ice rink.
Oh yeah, the chaos that ensued.
Yeah, which was brutal, by the way.
Oh, also, like, so the start of that when, like, they realize it's Homelander, and then Huey's stuck in the vent above. Were you as on edge as me of being like, Homelander, please don't look up. Please don't look up. Because it's obviously we know he has
X-ray. It's not even look up, it's his hearing, it's his X-ray. We know he's got a better sense of smell as well. So it's like, Huey, just don't move. Hopefully when he comes in, you'll just be part of the room so he won't notice. And then just don't move, and he still won't notice. Be a bench. Be a sofa. Just as long as you don't do anything to draw attention to yourself, hopefully he won't notice you.
But instead he had to look over the grate and let sweat drip down.
That is one of the most terrifying portrayal, like, interactions of Homelander we've seen. Like, Homelander's been scary, but a lot of the time he's been like petulant child or demolishing everything. We've not had many like chases.
Yeah, we've
getting like a bit of a chase was fucking awesome.
Yeah, having him realize, and you're like, oh shit, and it's just like the instant blast of the vent smashes up into it. He's not there. Then it's like catches a glimpse of him. Then to the point where the light gets turned on as he goes to laser him, and he just lasers through the ice skater.
It's interesting to me, and I'm not trying to be like a lore idiot here, but I do find it really funny the notion that these super powerful lasers are coming out of his eyes, but a bright light shone in his eye still makes him go like that.
Well, I imagine because
that's quite funny to me.
I feel like my guess is we've seen them as quite thin beams, so they obviously come like out of his pupil. Is the idea?
Yeah, absolutely. My reasoning would be his pupils have to open up to let them out, which lets more light in, which makes him more sensitive to light.
Yeah, it's just
it's just a funny looking thing. It's like, oh, there is a much brighter light coming out of your face, but
it also makes for a funny idea of like, oh, so the biggest counter to not get lasered by him is shining a light at him. But actually, that makes him more dangerous because then he just fucking flings his head around and just. And the chaos then after that of like, girl gets a hand skated over, which is like, I feel like a fear everybody has on the ice rink. Oh,
the number one reason I've never gone ice skating and I never will is my biggest fear is always, okay, people fall over ice skating all the time. That's not a big deal. That's how you learn to do it. Cool. But when you go to a public rink, there's already loads of people. If I get up too slowly or my hand slips a little bit, what stops someone just skating over my fucking hand and cutting my fingers off? And then this episode was like, yeah, that's exactly what would happen. And I'm like, they're professional fucking skaters. Fuck no.
Well, professional until those people start dying on the rink and it's just panic.
Everyone's professional until people get chopped in half, yeah.
Then the guy that like hops over the side and just like bicycle kicks at head height. Like, bro, why are you flicking your leg that high with ice skates on?
Just absolute bloodbath.
It was so like, all I was waiting for was like a Zamboni to be going around and someone panics and gets off it and just leaves it running and it hits someone.
Yeah. Incredibly fast thinking from Mother's Milk though to blind him.
Yeah.
Really, really good. A-Train to the rescue though. A-Train hero arc? Actual hero arc?
I don't think hero arc. I think A-Train is going to turn and I think A-Train's going to be done with the shit of Vought. And I think he wants out, but he realizes he's not going to be able to just walk away.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I think he might realize he's going to have to help the boys take down the Seven help them take down the Seven so that he has then a way out. If that makes sense.
Help me help you. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, unless something comes along and he suddenly shits himself and goes back to being Homelander's little boy.
I've got a feeling we're gonna get another double switch. I think towards the end of the season, he's gonna get caught out again. And somehow he's going to talk his way out of it again and not get murdered by Homelander. And then he will turn for the final time in season 5 and actually help take down Homelander. And then just use that as like an immunity card. It's like, yeah, I'm a piece of shit, cool, whatever. I helped you stop someone who's far more dangerous. I won't use my powers ever again. I'm just going to go live my life. Please leave me alone.
Yeah, possibly that. Or we could it could be the fact that he does turn and tries to play double agent, gets caught, and he just gets killed.
Yeah, I mean, A-Train being the person who literally started this entire story from our point of view.
Yeah.
Because we are following Huey for the most part.
Yeah.
And him being the person who killed Huey's girlfriend. Him dying, like, saving Huey. It could be like a mirroring of that scene of him saving Huey, where he saves Huey again and Homelander kills him.
Possibly, yeah.
But I think the big thing in this episode was more the Victoria Newman president, singer, let's get rid of all the soups bullshit.
He no longer trusts her.
Well, I mean, we knew he didn't trust her. He's just being a bit more obvious about how little he trusts her.
Well, yeah. He's like, you've had your chance to help me, but you failed at that, so now I don't trust you and I don't want you anymore. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Also, the whole, Ryan actually... The Mortal Kombat parody of it being...
I mean, it was definitely made in Mortal Kombat's engine because
Lamplighter.
Lamplighter's moveset was one of the Mortal Kombat characters, and obviously Mortal Kombat had Homelander in the game.
Oh yeah, so it probably was.
So I think they did get them to mock up these characters,
wouldn't surprise
just
me.
as like skins for two of the characters that exist in the game, so that they had like a because normally video games in TV shows are dog shit if you put any focus on them. If they're on the TV in the background, it's fine, but if you put any focus on them, they come across as dog shit. This one came across as pretty authentic, and I think that is literally just because it was reskinned Mortal Kombat.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't even surprise me if they like essentially put together like a cinematic sequence where it was all controlled in the animations just for them to have. But yeah, I thought that was funny talking up a game chat to get Ryan to go see Butcher. And we got Butcher opened up a little bit, and Ryan, as we hoped, showed that he is realizing his dad's a piece of shit.
Yeah. His dad honestly could have got away with all of the shit he's putting Ryan through if he was just a little bit more aware of the world.
Yeah.
But Ryan being upset that he accidentally killed someone and him going, "You shouldn't care," is actually what's cost him his son here.
Yeah.
If he'd have just gone, "Yeah, I know, but we're more important than them and mistakes happen and it's okay. You did good," I think he could have like swayed Ryan. But him just going, "You shouldn't care," is like the wrong way to go about it to get Ryan to stay on his side.
Yeah, and Butcher realizing he was opening up more, and him feeling the need to like want to open up more. He then obviously got rid of them cookies. Realized actually no, I'm not going to do it the shitty way. I'm going to do this try and be the proper way. So when Ryan goes home, Dad waiting on the couch. Where have you been, son? Loses it. He's full on having a breakdown.
Yeah.
That I think has almost certainly cemented he's losing. Like he's pushed Ryan too much now.
Absolutely.
I think what might happen, and whether it's this season or next season, Butcher's gonna take his shot at Homelander because he's like, I'm running out of time till I'm dead. Screw it. I'm going to take a half-assed shot because it's all I've got left. Fail. Homelander's going to kill him in front of Ryan or something, and that's going to flip Ryan to be like...
Oh, it's going to be a Palpatine Skywalker moment. This is the best way I can describe it. It's going to be Homelander and Butcher fighting, and then Ryan going, "Oh shit, no, I disagree with that," and stopping Homelander.
Yeah, I think
we might get that at the end of this season, and then get Ryan on the boys' team for season 5 potentially. It's really funny though because I always feel so bad for child actors because it's rough, like growing up on camera. You can hear his voice is developing mid-season though. That must have been like mega props to him because I know every man I've ever known is proper self-conscious when their voice is going through that phase.
Yep.
And he's worn it like a champ. The kid uploads a lot of TikToks, and he's mocking his own voice in the series. He's like, "Who is that squeaky motherfucker?" And he's like, "That was a dog shit haircut. I'm so upset with that haircut." It's like, you know what? Fair play for rolling with that because you're a better person than me. I wouldn't have been confident when my voice was super squeaky.
Yeah. To be fair, it helps play into that character of being like unsure of the world. Was very like he was brought up in isolation. And then
all of a sudden your dad's a superhero.
And you're in the spotlight and then you realise that your dad's a bit of a piece of shit. It's just like,
It's been a busy like 2 years for Ryan. He's gone from living alone with his mum to mum is dead, dad was trying to marry a Nazi, dad basically is a Nazi. The man I did like is now my enemy. The man I didn't like is now my dad, and I don't really know what's going on, and I'm scared and confused.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You got to feel for the kid, you really do.
Yeah.
But I'm going back to Homelander's breakdown.
Oh, yeah.
Based on the teaser trailer for episode 4, it looks like he's going back home.
Well, yeah, that and also the mirror scene, right? Because
Yeah,
like they're saying we need to go back home and
yeah. So it looks like in episode 4 that is what's going to happen. It looks like he goes to the lab where they like experimented on him as a child. So we're going to see the making of Homelander. No doubt in my mind we're going to get some flashbacks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And they're probably going to be brutal based on what the boys have already been willing to show.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's still Vought people that work there, and he's going through flashbacks and has a bit of a PT. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends with like he absolutely just decimates that lab.
Bloodbath, yeah. But on slightly different news, less about the show, but still tangentially related.
Okay.
Conservatives have realised they're the butt of the joke, and they're not happy.
Have they realised though?
Yes, they have, because a lot of right-wing people are now pretending they never liked the boys and it's always been dog shit.
Ah.
I'm not being funny.
Go on.
How can you claim to be intelligent and be right about such important issues when you don't realise for 4+ years that you're the butt of the joke?
Well, here's the thing. It's not even that just they're the butt of the joke. Everyone in that show is the butt of the joke. Both sides. Just one side more than the other.
Yeah, but like they genuinely thought Homelander was supposed to be a good guy. And only when Eric Kripke comes out and goes, if you think, like a direct quote from Eric Kripke is, if you think Homelander's the good guy, and then it just says in like brackets, like he throws his arms up in the air, he's like, I don't know what to tell you. And that's why a lot of people have finally realised it when the creator goes, no, that's the bad guy, you should want him to lose.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, no, Homelander's based. What?
Well, yeah, because there is still some people that haven't clicked because they think Starlight is like this terrible, like
crazy.
It's wild that they're like, look, this is what the left is doing to the country, and it's like, this is what you're all becoming, and it's it's funny because they're pointing the jokes at you guys and you don't realize, and it's like, excuse me, mate, I think you're the one who doesn't realize.
But is that not also more scary because the right wing feel like they've been faithfully represented in this show enough to the point where they're like, I know that's me and I'm still good?
Yeah, but that's...
Is that not almost scarier?
Yes, but also that is the world we live in, where often those people are misinformed and have been misinformed for several years to the point where they think they're informed, but they're just not educated on those matters correctly. And yeah, it's going to be funny crazy to see what else is kind of like portrayed in the show, and if it makes them more and more of them be like, I'd like to think some of them maybe it opens their eyes.
Yeah.
To be like, hang on, really... the way they're manipulating their supporters, maybe that's what the government's doing to us. But I don't know if they're wise enough to pick up on.
Do you know what it is? They view the show as not woke, or before this season they viewed it as not woke because they point at like Vought doing like their rainbow capitalism in like season 3 with Maeve.
Yeah,
it's like, do you not understand that makes the show more woke because it's criticizing rainbow capitalism?
Yeah,
it's not saying gay people are wrong. It's saying companies like pretending to support LGBT issues when they don't actually care.
Yeah,
that's what it's taking the mick out of. Mm-hmm. It's not supporting like true, let's care about one another and let's try and work together. It's taking the mick out of everything bad and perverted about companies and capitalism and the right wing. That's the thing, and they just don't get it. And the other bit is a lot. This is a take I'm seeing a lot, which is so funny. Okay. The Boys is many things. It is not subtle.
No.
Like, it bashes you over the fucking head with the point it's trying to make. And a lot of people who've realised that the right wing are the bad guys in this have gone, seasons 1 through 3 of The Boys were so subtle, but now you can just see how they're trying to be so blatant. There's no intelligence to the writing anymore. It's like my brother in Christ. They have been about as subtle as a ton of bricks since episode 1. What do you mean?
Yeah, I will admit, this season they've definitely ramped it up a bit. But I feel like that's also come from the fact that they were like smacking you on the head with it and some people weren't getting it. So they're like, okay, we're just going to literally shove it in your face. Like,
do you know what I think the difference is? It's not that they're actually being less subtle, because I don't think you could be less subtle. It's because they're drawing the parallels to very much real life aspects.
It becomes more realistic.
It's easier to notice it. Which I don't think it is any more or less subtle. It's just the thing that they're taking the piss out of is happening in the real world at the exact same time. So more people who couldn't notice it before have gone and finally got it. It's like the light bulb finally dings on moment.
That's it. They're not being less subtle. They've just closed the gap to like a real world comparison to try and help those people notice it quicker.
Exactly. It's insanity.